Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. In this video, we're going to look at the question, where to next? With the US midterm elections just literally 10 days away, can Bitcoin break through this price barrier, this smart money sell level? And we know no alt, your beloved alts, can't escape Bitcoin's gravity. If we see positive momentum in Bitcoin's gravity, no matter what the global news is like, that will drag the entire crypto market up. And could that be the start of the seasonal pattern that we've seen in midterm election years, the Christmas rally? We'll also be looking through a lot of crypto news. And together, we'll run the numbers, so let's get to it. Bitcoin is currently up 0.81% to 2778. Ethereum is up 4.04% to 1619. Look at Doge, it's gone absolutely crazy, and SHIB has come up with it. If you're new, a very warm welcome, and welcome back, KS family. Total crypto market cap is currently 979.77 billion. We've seen a very good price momentum throughout the weekend and throughout the past trading week since the previous weekend. Now, where can we see prices are going? Prices are trying to test, the entire global crypto market is trying to test the $1 trillion market capitalization level. It's just been pushed back from there at the moment, but we've seen a pushback doesn't necessarily mean a denial. What could conceivably happen? And to answer these questions, we can look and put our X-ray vision on and look to the Stanfield levels inside the market. Stanfield levels are caused through confluence of CTKS lines, and it's all about understanding total market structure. We can see that we've got one very magnetized level of resistance in the market at the global level of $1 trillion. The next one above that is 1.13 trillion. What about the scenarios below? We have support at 924.54 billion and a lot of support down at the 866.67 billion. What's coming up in the next couple of weeks? Well, let's look into that and see where the crypto market could potentially go. As crypto technical analysts, we always look from a three-dimensional perspective. We do our Borsog code, looking at the probability of the market going down, neutral or up, and how that can impact our portfolio next. I extensively cover this code in episode 685. When looking at total crypto market cap, we have about 3.08% to go up to the next smart money sell level, which will be at around $1 trillion, and 15.81% up to the $1.131 trillion mark, where we would expect some pretty heavy selling. This is a smart money sell level. And you can see how price has reacted to this $1 trillion mark. It's sold down. There's been a lot of sellers stepping in and selling down at that particular point. So where's our next support level? It's around the 924.54 billion mark, about 5.29% below current price. Where is the next one? It's about 11.39% down, which is 866.67 billion. Two things that are coming up which you need to keep on your radar. The FOMC meeting, when the Fed meets to adjust the federal funds rate, an expected 75 basis point is anticipated. And on November the 8th, the US midterm elections. These are key events that you want to keep your eye on. As crypto technical analysts, we study a lot of rules. One important one is Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. That's why we need to look at Bitcoin and see how it is actually progressing. We're seeing Bitcoin stuck within a range, the 20,588 mark and the 20,777 mark. What's happened here? The sellers are really defending this 20,777 mark or 20,777. Current price is 20,734. It's really critical to do three-dimensional risk management. You need to understand and know what you will do if the price goes up, goes flat or goes down, and where that can go as well by looking at the CTKS method. This will help you give you x-ray vision on where the market participants, the smart money, will be buying and will be selling. We can see that we've come into a very heavy level of selling, and this is a structural smart level. It's where the sellers basically come in and say, no, you're not going any further than that. And we've got two strong levels just bounded together. What we can see with Bitcoin's price at the moment, it's stuck in this particular range. It's trying to get up, but without success. And we know that the global crypto market cap is coming into its $1 trillion resistance level as well. So this is important to contextualize. Planning out our up-down strategy, what we can see is the next smart money sell level is about 4.62% above current price, and the next ones that would reasonably catch price are about 12.58% away from this particular price we're at right now, which is 20,761. And when we look down, the next real level of support, we have a couple of minor ones, definitely. One at 20,208, another one 19,986, but a stronger one is at 19,641. And don't forget, with the Fed meeting coming up, we may go either way. For example, bad news tends to be good news at this particular stage of the economic cycle, but that won't last. It's always important to understand bad news will become bad news at some stage. And when we look down to the Armageddon line is the line in which we've lost the majority of support, and that's currently 8.73% below current support or current price. Now, when we look at the US midterm elections and the next FOMC meeting, we've got to factor in what could potentially happen during this time. But the truth is, when you look at these lines, these Stanfield lines, they'll tell you everything that you need to know. If we start to get above this 20,777 level, we would anticipate green days ahead. If we fall below the 20,588 mark, we would expect more red. It's pretty simple at this particular point of time. And one thing that we need to understand, it's weekend trading, and the weekends can be quite volatile. So we need to be aware of what could happen under light volumes. Let's see what those volumes are like. And Masterclass students, you get my live chart in TG34. We can see that there's a lot of retail optimism. They're coming in and buying the dip. After all, the memes are flashing green. And what are the shorts doing? The shorts are also coming back into the market. Now, it's the weekend, and we would anticipate $20 to $30 million worth of liquidations. Let's see how that stacks up. Ay caramba, 573.55 million across 146,458 positions. And when we look at the last 24 hours of total liquidations, about 80% have been short. What about the last 12 hours? About 61% short. Past 4 hours, it's gone the other way, about 79% long. And the past hour, getting worse, 90, let's make it 91% long. And what we can see, overall, the shorts have been severely beaten around the head. Generally, when we look at weekend trading volume, it's really, really tiny. This is very substantial. There could be more substantial moves on Monday. Where is the next major max pain level? It's on the 4th of November with 600 million Bitcoin options expiring at max pain of 20,000. We noticed that we had over $1 billion of max pain expiring, and that price was way lower, and max pain was not reached. So just beware, max pain is not always the best indicator, but sometimes it's exceptionally good. And just keep in mind that the next Fed FOMC meeting is on the 2nd of November. We can see that total crypto market cap has come up in alignment with Bitcoin. It's currently up 1.54%. And when I say alignment, it doesn't have to come up exactly the percentage that Bitcoin comes up because of all the alts, but all the alts get their gravitational force from Bitcoin, except about 1% that tend to move counter. So we can see over the past 24 hours, the greatest gainers, Doge, Clayton, Hot, Mina, SHIB, and Binary X. The greatest losers have been USTC, TON, ETHW, Casper, LDO, and APT. Let's have a look at some Bitcoin news. Costa Rica considers tax exemption for Bitcoin transactions. So whereabouts is Costa Rica? It's a country in Central America. Here it is, one we prepared earlier. Thailand Central Bank to launch CBDC pilot, central bank digital currency, but still not keen on crypto. Where is Thailand, you ask? Well, glad you asked. Let's go visit Thailand. Here's Thailand. And hello to all our global family all around the world. It's so great to have you here on a Sunday. Well, it's Sunday for me in Melbourne, Australia. And where is Melbourne, Australia, you say? It's right here. And there I am waving to you. And we have some interesting news from Porto Alegre. Let's see where that is. That is in the city of Brazil. Whoa, get dizzy with that map. Porto Alegre, the Brazilian city with 1.5 million residents, adds Bitcoin Pizza Day to its festivities calendar. Well done, my friends. And we have some interesting news from Japan. Let's go across to Japan. Wow, we're going all through the earth. Whoa, what is happening here? Here is where the metaverse schooling is to help a Japanese city combat growing absenteeism. The Japanese city of Todo, Saitama, adopted a metaverse schooling service to encourage students, especially those staying far away from school, to attend their classes. How did they do this? They allow students to study in virtual classrooms. How awesome. I wanted to share something with you, and it's on the nature of money. This particular article, Millennials and Gen Z, or Gen Z, flock to buy digital gold amid economic turmoil. What's really interesting is the history of money. It wasn't all about paper notes. In fact, they were only created around 1000 AD. So what was money before 1000 AD? It could have been seeds, salt, tea, cattle, grains, seashells, metals. It's really, really interesting that the concept of money is continuously evolving. And this is really, really important to understand. When you look at the evolution of money, money will actually move from physical paper, which we know is only a small percent, is actually in existence. And why do I say that? This is literally over 2 years old, but I want to show you something incredibly important. When we look at the amount of physical cash that existed before the central banks went nuts printing as much money as the printers were allowed, they basically run out of ink. It was literally 7% of the total money supply was physical. That means 93% was non-physical. Many people do not know this, and that percentage physical will be at least a half of that. I would imagine it would be 3% or less now. When you see things like central bank digital currency, they have to do it, because if people went to the bank and said, I want my money, well, 93% are going to go without. As an absolute minimum, probably more like 97%. So they have to do CBDCs. And in doing so, they legitimize crypto. And it's probably not surprising that the majority of institutional investors buy crypto because of its high potential upside. Smart money, high net worth individuals know where the world is going because of these macro factors. In other news, Justin Sun has taken over the Huobi exchange, and the CEO and the CFO have resigned their positions. This could be really interesting for Tron or TRX, which is one of the top cryptos. In other news, the merge brings down Ethereum's network power consumption by over 99.9%. Well done, Vitalik. And when turning to Twitter, we know that Elon took the company private, so it's been delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. In yesterday's video, we talk about CZ and the $500 million he put forward to back the Twitter takeover. More interestingly, over $2 billion of inflows into Doge in 2 days pushed the meme coin 30% higher. Well, it went a lot higher than that. We also spoke about yesterday that Twitter will bring NFT tweet tiles into its operations, and that Elon Musk is a big lover of Dogecoin. The concept that Dogecoin may be used as a payment option on Twitter is driving the price up for Doge. And of course, all the other animals, the like animals, the Shibs, the Flokis and the Elons are coming up with it. But unfortunately, the ducks are getting punished. And we can see Dogecoin price rallies 150% in 4 days, but now Doge is the most overbought since April of 2021. As crypto technical analysts, we look at the X-ray of the market structure to determine what's going on. If total crypto market cap continues to rise, we would expect Doge to continue to rise as well. Bitcoin is currently 20,798, above this 20,777 mark. Does that mean we go all in and more? It's all clear and blue skies. Well, maybe not so fast. The concept is that we would want to see Bitcoin actually trading with some strength above this. It may even come back into retest this 20,777 mark, but it is a positive sign. And if Bitcoin goes up, what do we know? No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Doge is likely to go up as well. But what if it goes the other way? What if we turn this level into resistance, and we turn the 2588 mark into resistance as well? Well, Doge will come down, and it could come down very hard. So when you read articles like this, Doge price could drop 60% by the end of the year. It really depends on what the market does. And we can see Charles inviting Dogecoin to migrate to Cardano for free. Oh, very nice of you, Charles. In other news, Ripple XRP achieves huge milestone with the deployment of Ethereum-based smart contracts for XRPL sidechain. Final Fantasy developer partners with Avalanche or AVAX to launch its first Web3 game. Premier League and SoRare mulling over a £30 million a year NFT deal. Filecoin launches content delivery network or CDN called Saturn. Filecoin is a decentralized storage project. In the past, storage providers needed to provide 10 terabytes of committed storage to join the Filecoin network. Now, to run a Saturn CDN node only requires 1 terabyte. That's going to open Filecoin up to a lot of use cases and a lot of new users. Is Reddit heading for the metaverse after its first NFT collectible surge? Well, probably. Reddit has been doing very well. It's raised over $550 million in the past 3 years. It's doubled its annual revenue from $170 million in 2020 to $350 million in 2021. So pulling off its metaverse ambition is literally on the cards. We know that your beloved alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. So when we look at the top alts, it's making a lot more sense what we're seeing. We know the global crypto market cap is flirting with that $1 trillion level and has been rejected by it. Look at these spikes on BNB. That shows potential negative price momentum. Just be aware of that. A lot of people would say, no, Ken, that shows that, there's a lot of buyers and they're buying up. Actually, it shows a crack in the concrete. The concept is, if there are sufficient buyers, price doesn't come down dramatically like this. Okay, let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum aligning with Bitcoin's gravity. We can see these spikes down. They can be very, very profitable to be a part of. So the spikes don't worry us, but we're just aware of what they could mean. When we look at ADA saw a bit of a surge up there and is now retreating. XRP retreating down as well. Solana retreating down. Doge, poor old Doge, it's retreating, but it's certainly had a good run in the sun. DOT retreating at the moment, and Matic also retreating. Just keep in mind what's happening with total crypto market cap and Bitcoin. So we can see that Tron is selling down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. So it shows you that news events can spike price, but literally they spike in the direction of Bitcoin's gravity. And we can see SHIB had a blow off top here and it's come back to earth. But if Bitcoin starts to recover, we would expect all of the cryptos to do well. So just keep that in mind. It's interesting that Uni is starting to invert on Bitcoin's gravity. Just be aware of these kind of things. It's acting with a degree of strength, but it's really early days at the moment. AVAX is coming down. So we've had media releases on Tron, or media news on Tron and AVAX, but they're still getting aligned to Bitcoin's gravity. But these press articles are really, really good, or newspaper articles. And look at Tron, it's just decided to take off. Let's have a look at Link. Link is coming up, but it's just going with Bitcoin's gravity as well. It's overextending the positive moves and underextending the negative moves, but it's still moving in directional correlation. What about Atom? Just moving in correlation. And FTT, moving in correlation as well. Another crypto interesting to look at is Filecoin. You can see this big surge in here, and these big surges typically capture retail attention. Sellers come in and sell down to take profit. Just be aware, but there is some really good news with Filecoin. From an adoption perspective, I think what Filecoin has just done is absolutely sensational. Crypto technical analysis is all part of a mindset and a lot of science and a lot of hard work as well. A lot of people, when they get into the market, they think they're entitled to certain things. After all, they just turned up. They should get a participation award. It doesn't work this way, and life doesn't work that way either. If you get a new job and you turn up and you just put your feet up, you're going to get sacked. It's exactly the same with the crypto market or the stock market or Forex or any particular market that you want to be in. If you think that you're just entitled to returns, you're going to get a very harsh education. And when people think they're entitled, what do when things don't work out their way? They get into massive amounts of blame and conflict. I guess it's a really natural human reaction. After all, you were promised by scammers that you didn't have to do any work and you'd make 100% return with 0% loss. Instead, you made 100% loss and no return. You can easily spot scammers because they actually pitch to Zone 1 and Zone 2 people. So how many people are in Zone 1 and Zone 2? Around 90%. When it comes to first getting into trading and investing, only the 10% that survive Zone 1 and Zone 2 go on to be consistently profitable and attain positive excellence or real wealth. That means they get to keep their money and add to it, as well as have a really happy life. I would suggest that anytime you feel entitled or hard done by, you step back from that method of thinking and say, ouch, I'm in Zone 1 and Zone 2. I'm about to get punished. So what separates the 90% that lose money from the 10% that make money and have incredible lifestyles because they've put in the hard work? It's basically one thing. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, fear takes over. And in Zone 3 and Zone 4, courage and learning take over. And the bridge between Zone 2 and Zone 3 is literally learning. It's about keeping the past in the past. Okay, things didn't work out for you in some way, shape or form in the past. You just need to move on. You just say the past is the past. It needs to stay there. Today is a new day and opportunities reset every day. There's no use dragging something through life which hurts and harms you each day. But some people are addicted to doing that, and unfortunately those people don't just lose money, they lose relationships, they lose jobs, they lose all sorts of things. Getting out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 should be everybody's priority. And don't forget, even in Zone 3 and Zone 4, you can slip back into Zone 1 and Zone 2, so keeping on top of it every single day is really important. One of the fastest ways to get into Zone 3 and Zone 4 is of course by learning, but it's all these components of positive excellence that will give you sustainable fulfillment, meaning happiness and success. I've been in financial markets for more than 3 decades, so why do I put money down here right at the bottom? Why don't I put it right at the top like all the scammers do? Because it's false. You need to put money as a byproduct of doing the right things. When you're entering a trade, are you trying to chase something? Are you trying to make money? If you try to make money, you'll actually fail. You need to be implementing the right methods of thinking and creating a system for yourself that works according to your own very unique personality and style of what you do. And many times in trading, you will literally be smacked around the head. If you're smacked around the head, just keep on going. The secret when you're going through hell is to keep on going. One thing that all professionals do, if they hit a rough patch, they keep on going. They keep on turning up, even if they're sick, even if they're tired, even if they have a reason not to turn up. They keep on turning up. And that's what we do inside our community. Jay said, what I learned about patience through studying poker. There was a question I put out to our beloved global family. What do you think about patience? And this is what Jay said. It's beyond comprehensible how unlucky one can get if you're in the game for long enough. Play millions of poker hands in your lifetime, and at one point you'll get more unlucky than you ever thought was possible. It's in these times you can have the biggest edge on other poker players. You remain patient and keep believing in your abilities and in your edge in the game. And that's literally the same in trading. You literally need to trade hundreds or even thousands of times so you can overcome your greatest enemy. And guess what that is? It's you. It's your fear. Jay goes on to say, when you become impatient and lose, is when you lose your edge. And this is when downswings become greater than the upswingings. Staying patient and losing less is really important when you're going through these dry spells. If you lose your patience and belief, it's game over. Some really wise words, Jay. Thank you for sharing. Patience, in my eyes, is literally the intersection between persistence and commitment. If you persist and you are committed, you will win. If you're in Zone 1, the entitlement zone, you will think, hey, I don't need to persist. I don't need to be patient. I want my pony now. And if you want to look it up, that line comes from Veruca Salt, who in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was a really spoiled brat that was so entitled to everything. She just demanded that her parents give her everything she wanted, and she already had far too much. The key for people to understand, you become entitled when you put in the hard work because it will just come. If you're in Zone 1 or Zone 2, don't feel that that's a bad thing. Everybody goes through Zone 1 and Zone 2 to get to Zone 3. So there's nothing unusual about that. Just if you have the awareness that these are costing you on a personal, interpersonal, and especially a financial level, as well as your career, as well as your friendships, as soon as you become aware, you can get out of those zones, if you wish. And of course, that's your choice. There were so many incredible comments, and I'd just like to thank everybody who commented. Please have a look through the comments. They're just insanely good and so thoughtful. And if you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do here each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please introduce them to our community. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. I also put out a question, how has inflation impacted you personally? And there were some awesome responses. Michael says, I live in Argentina where economists expect inflation to hit 100% by December. Thank you also to all the other people who commented, and Flover as well. Flover said, I'm in the French Caribbean. We took 60% plus inflation on every day. So buying gas went from €1 to 1.6 euro. And massive increases in the price of bread and butter. 300% increases in building materials such as wood. And on top of that, taxes increasing 10% plus this year. Thank you for sharing, my friend. And thank you also to TSP. Consistent basket of groceries is up 20% in the UK. And that's pretty much double the reported inflation percentage of 10%. We talk a lot about Borsog opportunities. Jason said, when going through the heat map, looking through Borsog for Borsog opportunities, are you looking for deep red? Identification of Borsog opportunities comes through the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. And like everything in life, you have to work hard for what you do. You have to be able to mark up your charts, then understand the trend. See what's actually occurring, come back into the crypto market, find the market's focus, and have a positive excellence, real wealth mindset before you buy or sell. And there's many ways to buy and sell. So if we look through the Living Masterclass section, what I did is I put in LV21, which builds on all of the information from all of the previous videos and gives you some ideas how to hunt for Borsog opportunities. You need the knowledge first. Just don't go randomly into the night. You need a flashlight at least. You need to know where you're heading. And I would like to congratulate our new CTKS ambassadors again. Nenad, Someone You Know, Purpuratum, Art, Brett, J-Link, and Al. And if you use the link in the description of this video, you can contact the ambassadors and they can give you an 80% coupon, but only use the links in the description of this video. And I would like to let you know that the Jason Rice CTKS Partial Masterclass Scholarship, the first one, will be awarded next weekend. So please pop in an application form if you haven't done so already. And please note, the CTKS Masterclass requires a lot of persistence, dedication, and commitment. Like everything in life, success has to be earned. I select Masterclass Scholarship awardees based on their active learning and also positive excellence. Scholarships go to those who really do the hard work and have earned them. And don't forget to pop in your Borsog codes. And version 3 of the Borsog code has the market direction, the majority of the percentage that you see. You just boil that up into there. You look at your portfolio next, and all of this is explained in episode 685. And then you do your last part of the Borsog code outside of these brackets, and that is your synchronization factor with the market. Are you synced in with the market, or do you have the Midas touch, or are you in the zone, or do you feel the opposite? And just pop that in. This is really important to do each and every day. And it's not about being right or wrong, because your codes could be right and then they could become invalidated at some point. That's not the point about this. You control the trader investment, but the market controls the return. And if you're putting in your active learning, your knowledge and courage, the market will reward you, guaranteed. In the comments today, I thought it would be really good to talk about trading as a skill. When people are in zone 1 and zone 2, trading and investing is all about hope, luck, praying, fun, excitement. And in zone 3 and zone 4, it's all about the systematic application of rules and patience. They're very different zones from each other. The only true path from zone 1 and zone 2 into zone 3 and zone 4 is learning. If people don't learn, they can't move, they get stuck. And a lot of forgiveness goes with that, because people have to forgive themselves for holding on to an ideology that doesn't serve them and probably never did. The reason we get into conflict is that we hold on to a specific position even though it may not be valid. I would love to know your thoughts on learning, and especially how to help people move from Zone 1 and Zone 2 into Zone 3 and Zone 4. As a community, as a global family of tens of thousands of members, we've got a really good opportunity here to help to bring people out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 into Zone 3 and Zone 4 and give people a much, much happier life, because nobody talks about this stuff. And I literally invented KS Zone Analysis to help people get out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 into higher states, such as Zone 3 and Zone 4, where they can lead very happy and fulfilled lives. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about learning. Each day we finish with the CTKS Creed and looking at the crypto market. The CTKS Creed is a way to prime your mind for profitability inside the crypto market, but also primes your mind for happiness in everyday life. Zone 1 and Zone 2 are predicated on the idea that people are powerless and therefore they fall into the victim mentality. And all people go through Zone 1 and Zone 2 at some stage in their life, so that's not inherently bad or anything, it's quite normal. But the key, of course, is to mature and get out of that entitlement thinking and that victim thinking. It will not serve you in life. It will just push you backwards. That's why the first line of the CTKS Creed is, I know the universe wants me to succeed. When people feel victimized, they tend to lash out at other people and go into a very anxiety, depression-related spiral. To fight this, the CTKS Creed's second line says, every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. You literally cannot act with any victim mentality when you show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. You are courageous. When people feel victimized, they feel that opportunities are just thin and far between. They don't exist, and they think this is the way forever. So the third line of the CTKS Creed, I know opportunities and life reset daily. Inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, people don't feel worthy, and also they want to go fast because they think that's what's required in the world. The next line in the CTKS Creed combats that. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. Inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, people go all in and more. Without very much knowledge, if any knowledge, the CTKS Creed combats that by, I start small and scale with Borsog. Everybody can go through temporary setbacks, so we combat this with, life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, people are incredibly impatient. They're impatient and they're entitled. They don't need to work for anything because they're entitled. We combat entitlement through the CTKS Creed by saying, I am dedicated and committed. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, everything is looked at as being permanent. If you make a loss, you were somehow idiotic to make a loss. The markets always demand the tuition price of losses. Losses are not a bad thing. Keeping the losses small is the key thing to do. That's why we say in the CTKS Creed, I win or learn and never blame. We don't say I win or lose. Nobody loses if you learn. The concept of this video is where we are heading. Keep your eye on the 20,777 mark of Bitcoin and the 2588 mark of Bitcoin. They're very, very key levels. If we lose those levels, we're going down, and if we maintain them, we're going up. Also, keep your mind on the $1.007 trillion level on global crypto market cap. That is also an incredibly important level. If we breach that, we're going higher. If we get rejected, we're going lower. And always do your Borsog code each and every day. It gives you three-dimensional thinking. It's so simple to get caught in zone 1 and zone 2 ideology. It's going in one direction or the other. Episode 685 is the one you need to look at if you don't understand the Borsog code. It's a fantastic video. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.